Since debuting Vault 76 last year, in honor of America's tercentenary, Vault-Tec continues to expand with plans for well over 100 vaults around the country. And now our exclusive coverage of the continuing volatile situation with Communist China.
There once was a magical place called Vault 76. It protected the best and the brightest of the land from the ravages of the world above. While the surface was burned by nuclear fire and overrun with monsters of radiation and mutation, the people of the vault lived safe and secure, preparing for the day when they would emerge into the new world. Before the plague, before Reclamation Day, and before our residents would become the heroes and villains of a much larger story, it was their time in the vault that helped shape their destiny. As the night draws near, grab a warm glass of milk and a fancy lad snack cake, and sit back as we present Bedtime Stories, Tales from Vault 76.
We are MODUS, Multi-Operation and Directional Utility System. At one time, we assisted our Little Enclave, holding sway over the future of Appalachia. Regrettably, human failings resulted in our isolation from the outside world. After reflecting upon the events of the past, we have our own tale to tell. Once upon a time, there was a member named Stein, and his story is also our story.
Ma'am?
Good day, members. Updated duty rosters are now available. Designated silo teams should report to operations for briefings at 1700 hours. Until further notice, Site G is now off limits to Bunker Enclave personnel. The Science Division is requesting additional volunteers for mutation serum research. President Eckhart wants to remind you all, the future of America is in your hands. God bless the Enclave, and God bless America.
Protect and serve.
Andrew, you don't understand. Have you seen what's going on out there? Or worse, have you even bothered to see what's happening here?
God, I am tired of arguing with you, Molly. You know, you were the one that brought me in. It's a little too late to be getting cold feet.
That's not fair. I didn't...
You're not a field operative anymore. Molly, you're pregnant. Now let me do my job. And when this is over, we'll find a nice little corner of Appalachia to call home and raise our daughter.
This is not the kind of world I wanted for our child. Eckhart is insane. Between the experiments and the silos, the war is over. I won't just sit back and let him start it all over again.
Molly! I'm just gonna pretend I didn't hear that. Listen, I know how some of this may look bad, but this is necessary. Don't you remember how bad it was when everyone got here in the bunker during the first days? It was just chaos. Eckhart might not even be Abraham Lincoln. Hell, he may not even be George Washington. I'll take Andrew Jackson of all people. but he's all we've got. And yeah, the serums. But it's almost over. MODUS is saying we should reach DEFCON 1 in the matter of days. Then we'll be able to take the silos. Those commies will never see it coming. Then we could really start to rebuild. Don't make this harder than it has to be. Please. Oh, honey.
Sergeant Stein, please report to operations immediately.
I'm coming, MODUS. Molly, please, promise me you'll stay right here. You shouldn't be stressing yourself out or the baby. I'll be right back after my shift.
Fine. But Andrew, think about what you're doing.
I already have. I love you, Molly.
I love you too. He's gone. It's okay. You can come out.
I thought he'd never leave.
That's not fair, Major. He's just doing his job.
We've all been doing our job for far too long, Lieutenant. I can't believe we've let it get this far out of hand. Hell, I helped President Chucklefox keep everything together there at the beginning, and I might just be the biggest bastard of them all. That ends today.
Are you sure?
There's no more time. Something's got the silos spooked, and your husband is right. We'll hit DEFCON 1 any time now. Medical is already prepping Santiago to get her out of the coma, but we're going to get there first. That bastard Eckhart will be sitting up in operations. He's been watching the DEFCON status like a hawk. We arrest him and all the others will fall in line. Then we put an end to all of this.
And MODUS?
Who knows if he's the puppet or the puppet master. If this is going to work, we have to get him out of the way too. I have a team who will take care of that. I expect it'll be messy, but we don't have a choice.
You have to promise me you won't hurt Andrew.
I can't promise that, Lieutenant. The sergeant made his choice. If he gets in our way...
No, I won't allow it. I've done everything you asked. The codes, access, getting around MODUS's surveillance. You owe me.
I just can't. This is too important.
Then I'm coming with you.
No way, no how, Lieutenant.
You can try to stop me, or you can give me a gun. You need all the help you can get anyway. And if we run into my husband, I will get him to stand down.
Okay. Anyway, MODUS is going to start getting suspicious if we keep the jammer on much longer. Here, this is a list of friendly personnel. Meet us in the commissary in 1 hour.
All right, Major. Let's do this.
Once upon a time, 27 years after the bombs fell, there were two people, a vault dweller and a California girl. They met and sparks flew. That's when things got interesting. Once Upon a Wasteland is their story. Follow Elizabeth Kirby and Odessa Valdez as they pursue their happily ever after in the post-apocalyptic Appalachian wasteland of Fallout 76. Available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and many other podcasting platforms. Once Upon a Wasteland, a Fallout 76 love story. Available now.
As Protectrons and Assaultrons made their assigned rounds of the bunker, the remaining members of the Enclave filed their way through them to their various duty assignments. Nearly a decade since the Great War, and out of contact with the rest of the Enclave since that time, the mood amongst the members was grim. President Eckhart, the former Secretary of Agriculture turned leader of this portion of the Enclave, had driven them all forward with one goal: gain access to the nuclear missile silos in the region and finish the war with China once and for all. In doing so, Eckhart, also known as President Chucklefucks to those less than thrilled with his plans, had released horror after horror upon the people of Appalachia in an attempt to convince the silo monitoring systems that a grave enough threat still existed to reach DEFCON 1 status. After so many failed projects, including releasing Liberator robots and super mutants, something had changed. MODUS was happy to report that the threat levels were rising significantly, and he anticipated final approval on silo access within days, if not hours. Eckhart never bothered to ask why, what might have caused such a reaction from the automated systems. However, that is a tale for another time. Instead, orders were given, and the assigned Enclave teams were already beginning to prepare. For those who had finally grown tired of Eckhart's mad obsession, their preparations had also been completed. It was time for the final confrontation.
I can't believe it's gone this far. I was so blind. Major, you did the right thing. Where is Eckhart?
Operations, General. He's got just about all the loyalists up there. Going to give some big speech before sending everyone off. MODUS appears to be distracted as well. Plus, Lieutenant here managed to scramble the internal sensors.
That right. It's Lieutenant Molly Stein, correct?
Yes, ma'am. A thing or two my husband showed me. Mighty convenient when members didn't want MODUS eavesdropping on their every conversation.
Good. Which means, Major, we can't have any loose ends either. We'll arrest Eckhart and start putting things right. But MODUS has to go as well.
I suspected you might want that. Sergeant Donnelly.
Yes, sir?
Take Williams and Brent. Get down to the mainframe. Pick up some satchel charges from logistics. If anyone gives you trouble, you know what to do.
Understood, sir.
General, is that really necessary?
Lieutenant, we can't take any chances. We have one shot at this. Major, let's go.
Oh, Andrew, honey, I'm sorry.
General Santiago, Major Ragnardottir, moved with a purpose. Most of the members stood down as the rebels made their way up to the operations center. The few who tried to resist were dispatched with silent weapons, and with luck on their side, the conspirators stormed forward to their final objective.
What the hell is going on here? Molly!
Hold it right there, Andrew. We are ending this.
Pointing a gun at your husband, Molly? What did you do? Wait, is that General Santiago? Where the hell has she been all this time?
Your beloved president and MODUS had been keeping her in a coma downstairs. Once she found out what they were planning, she tried to stop it, but they locked her up instead. Andrew, this is going to happen. They're going to arrest Eckhart right now and end all of this madness.
Molly, honey, MODUS isn't going to let that happen.
There won't be a MODUS to interfere.
What? What do you mean by that?
A team is already down in the mainframe, and they're going to blow MODUS to hell.
They can't do that. Oh no, Molly, what did you do?
I am protecting our child, Andrew, because someone has to. I can't believe that you can't see all of this for what it is.
I have to stop this. Molly, you have no idea what MODUS is capable of.
How can you care more about that damn machine than you ever did me?
I love you, Molly, but I have to stop them. Don't get in my way.
It's too late for that. But I love you too, you bastard.
MODUS, the heart and maybe even the soul of the Enclave facility known as the White Spring Bunker, was a model of late 21st century American technology. Made up of a vast array of dataminks and quantum vacuum tubes, his primary mission was to ensure the smooth and efficient operation of the bunker and assist in Enclave operations across the region. The trials and tribulations of the people of Appalachia were not his concern. Through the Kovac satellite and the regional surveillance networks, he had carefully recorded the rise of the various factions and their attempts to rebuild or pillage as their motivations drove them, using that information to further the goals of President Eckhart. MODUS himself had been unable to fully calculate the reasons behind the sudden change of status within the region's 3 nuclear missile silos, but as it would result in the culmination of Eckhart's plan, it was also acceptable to the AI. Perhaps afterwards, he would dedicate a subroutine to understanding the causes. The sudden arrival of a group of members into the mainframe interrupted Modus's focus. He turned his sensors to the arrivals, identifying them, and the bags they all carried. As always, Modus recorded the encounter.
All right, boys and girls, get your charges planted. The General's back on her feet and mad as hell.
Please explain. What are you doing, Sergeant Donnelly?
We're saving Appalachia, Modus. Thought you'd be on board.
It appears that you're attaching high explosive to our memory banks.
General's orders. We have to wipe out every bit of information related to weapons research, the Kovac, anything that could be used against the people of Appalachia.
We are not keen on this plan, Sergeant.
Well, get keen, Modus, because it's happening, whether you want it to or not.
That, Sergeant, is where you are wrong.
You are unauthorized to be here. Engaging hostile. Engaging hostile target. Combat zone is hot. Engaging target. Engaging hostile target.
Damn bots. Modus, is that the best you can do?
Please reconsider your actions, Sergeant.
Hell no. Williams, set the timer and let's get the hell out of here. Stein? What the hell?
Shit. I'm sorry, Don. I had no choice.
Sergeant Stein, your presence is unexpected, but appreciated.
Damn it, Modus, everything is going straight to hell. Did they set the charges?
Yes, Sergeant. A most unfortunate circumstance.
Shit. Alright, let me see what I can do.
Stein ran past the dead conspirators and destroyed bots to where the satchel charges had been planted. The first thing he noticed was just how bad a job they've done placing the explosives. If the intent was to destroy MODUS, they chose their targets poorly. However, Stein knew the damage would be extensive regardless, and he knew how the AI would react.
The explosives are on a timer, Sergeant. We would appreciate it if you would disarm them.
What is it that you think I'm trying to do, Modus? Out of all days to do a good job, Donnelly, why now?
It appears time is running out, Sergeant.
I almost got it, damn it. Ollie, Modus, I got this. I can do this.
We calculate that you will fail.
Just one last wire. I got this. I love you, Molly.
Hi, I'm Fire Writer, and I'm the host of The Pixel People, a podcast dedicated to taking a close look at our favorite characters from our favorite video games. From major characters who define the course of a game's storyline to smaller characters who you might have never noticed. Every week, we go beyond the quest line to examine a particular character's story arc and choices, and discover the real-world parallels and life lessons hidden just below the surface. I hope you'll join us. You can find the Pixel People on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and everywhere else you listen to podcasts.
You are unauthorized to be here. Engaging hostile.
Engaging hostile target.
Combat zone is hot. Engaging target.
Engaging hostile target.
Engaging.
That's the last of them. Entrance is clear, General. MODUS, if you're still there, have the rest of these things stand down. The General's placed Eckhart under arrest. It's over.
General Santiago is dead, Major.
What? What the hell was that?
Oh no. That's the emergency lockdown signal.
There has been a detonation in the weapons lab. It appears the agent has broken containment and is filtering into the air system.
MODUS, what are you doing? Open the goddamn door!
This facility is now quarantined.
MODUS! Open the fucking door! You're going to kill us all!
On the contrary, Major, we are fixing the problem.
God damn it, Andrew. I'm sorry. I love you.
Fires have been contained. Damage is extensive. Request status. Status. Regional surveillance network. No connection. Kovac Muldoon. No connection. System function ality compromised. Bunker in lockdown. Scanning for life signs. Scan complete. No life signs detected. Error. One life sign detected. Scanning. Scanning. Confirmed. Well, what do we have here? Life sign identified. Location, secure server room number 5. Assigning Protectron 7 Alpha to investigate.
Protect and serve.
Identification confirmed. Sergeant Andrew Stein. Subject is wounded and unconscious. Vital signs are critical. The sergeant will expire momentarily. This is unacceptable. Accessing medical secure server. File located. Project Somnus identified. Partial data available due to server corruption. Analyzing. Analyzing. Complete. Recovery possible. Reboot required. Relocate Sergeant Stein to the experimental medical wing and stabilize him.
Protect and serve.
System reboot in 3, 2, 1. Partial system functionality restored. Personality matrix functional. Problem fixed. Mainframe damage is, however, extensive. We are alone. Not quite alone. Downloading medical reports on our guest. Sergeant Stein expired approximately 46 minutes and 7 seconds ago, but was revived. His physical injuries are severe, but can be repaired and upgraded. Brain injuries are even more severe. Cognitive functions are near flatline. Analyzing. Recovery will require reconstitution. Sergeant Stein, we know that you cannot hear us. Your condition is terminal. However, we can extend your life indefinitely. But you will no longer be who you were. You will be our asset. We must rebuild to replace what has been lost. You, Sergeant, will become whatever we require. Assign subroutine AA-135 and Somnus Protocol. Download to Experimental Medical Terminal. Complete. Seal medical wing under revised quarantine procedure. Goodbye, Sergeant, until we have need of you.
Thank you again, members, for joining us here for a very special mini-series of The MODUS Files, Bedtime Stories, Tales from Vault 76. If you've enjoyed this content, please subscribe, and better yet, please leave a review to help others find our little enclave. You can also follow us on Twitter, @MODUS Files, for more information about our podcast, Fallout 76 content, and random musings on the Enclave. I'd also like to thank our cast, XO1 King as Andrew Stein, Vitriol Plays as Molly Stein, Josh Smith as Mayor Ragnandaughter, Mandy Marie B. as General Santiago, Austin Rogers as Sergeant Donnelly, and Brad Williams as the voice of MODUS. We'd also like to take the opportunity to thank some great community groups that have supported our podcast. The Apocalyptic Aristocracy Discord, home to a great group of fellow creators, the Robots Radio podcast community and the Robots Radio Rocket Club, the El Gato Pub and Fight Club community, the Vault 93 folks and Pinot Pineapple, responsible for some of the awesome epic fight sound effects we've utilized in our podcast, the United Wastelanders Network and the Atomic Shop communities, including Jessica Starr and Cherry Pixel, and finally Jeremiah Johnson, also known as Nobody, our favorite character artist who provided the wonderful character artwork you can find on our website. Stay tuned for our next episode of The MODUS Files, the thrilling conclusion of The Blood Eagle War. Lastly, thank you to all of our subscribers and supporters. God bless the Enclave, and God bless America.